In today's video, we'll be learning how to go about this gorgeous panel dress with a Gracian neckline. Comes with a keyhole at the back too, and in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to go about this dress from start to finish. And if you're interested in that, definitely watch to the end and let's get to it. So here on my pattern paper, I have a shoulder line and we'll be starting with the front pattern. For that, I already have from my shoulder to my waistline. So what I'm going to do is to mark from my shoulder to my bust point line on both sides this way. Then I'll go ahead and use my ruler to roll it out like this. Next, on the shoulder line, I'll mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I'll go down to the chest line. And on the chest line again, I'll mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. I'll just go ahead and mark the same thing on the back pattern. That's the shoulder measurement and the chest line. Then once I'm done marking it on both ends, just so I have a straight line, I'm going to use my ruler to mark them out this way. Next, I'm going to mark my standard neck width of 3 inches, then come down here to 1.5 and connect from that 1.5 to the 3 inches, and that's my shoulder slope. Now I'm going to mark my actual neck width of 3.5. Then I'll go down here to 3.5 too as the neck depth and place my curve like this to cover the neckline, this exact way you see me do it. The next thing I will be doing now is to mark my bust span on the bust point line and also on the waistline, and use my ruler to connect it out this way. And on both sides, I'll be marking 0.75, which is 1.5, that intake on the waistline. I'm going to connect it to the bust span on both sides this way. And once that is done, I'm going to get my bust measurement divided by 4 here on the chest line. Then once I mark it, I'm going to come down to the waistline and mark my waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 1.5 that's intake. I'll replace it to then connect the bust measurement to the waist measurement like this. Next, I'll come down here to 1.5, which is my bust that value. That's the difference between my front length and the back length. I'll connect it like you see me do it here. Now you can decide to contour the under bust a bit, because this is not a bustier and you are likely not to wear this with a bra that has strap. So you can decide to contour the under bust, and to do that you can decide to measure from your shoulder to your under bust, or you just measure from the bust point to your under bust. Either way, just get your under bust line. Then on both sides, on this already existing that legs, I'll be going out to 0.25. You can decide to extend the waist that you already have to that point, but here I'm doing 0.75 starting from the existing that legs, and that's a total of 1.25 under bust tightening. On the waistline I have 1.5, and here 1.25, and I will shape it on both sides like you see me do it here. That's just how you go about it in case you want to contour, because you're not doing too much there. It's not a bustier. I'll start from my neck width and come in here to 1.75, and whatever you do here depends on how wide you want your shoulder line to be. Yeah, so 1.75 works for me. Then I'm going to take it from that point to the bust point line or to the bust span. Now you're going to go up to your over bust, and what you're going to do here is to go up to your actual over bust line plus 1.5. Mine is usually 3.5 from my bust point line. Yeah, plus 1.5 is 5 inches. And measuring from the shoulder to that point, I'll mark it like this, then come to this other side and mark the same thing and connect the 2 points just like this. Once I'm done, I'm going to be curving it out, curving the armhole out like this, just so I have it as a guide to cover this other part. So I'm going to use my curve, this part of my curve, and blend it in this same way you can see me do it. Another way you can do it if you're not comfortable with leaving it like this is to blend it in more. So I'm trying to use this other part of my curve to blend it in, just as you can see me do it here. And yeah, I prefer this second one. So that's how you're going to go about it for this part of Gracian neckline. Next, we'll be tightening this part. We'll be doing a gaping that of 0.75, because if you leave it like this, it's going to gape. Since we used our actual chest line, I recommend that you even use your actual chest line and then do this gaping that, because this fit is better than taking your chest line upwards by 1 inch or half inch. So we are going to get the standard neck width and our actual neck width on the back. Then I'll connect the shoulder slope to my standard neck width, then come down here to 2 inches as my neck depth. I'll place my curve like this and connect from my actual neck width of 3.5 to the 2 inches neck depth, and The next thing now is to take this length up from the waistline. I'll be going up 1.5, which is the same 1.5 I use as my bust dart. Yeah, so you're going to shorten the back length with that same length. Then I'll go up here 3 inches, and on that point I'll go in 1 inch and connect it this exact way, making sure that my ruler is touching that 1 inch. I'll take it from the waistline all the way to the shoulder line this same way. Now I'll start from this line and take my bust measurement divided by 4. On the waistline, the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch, because the darts will be coming in later. So I'm going to connect the two measurements like this. And then the next thing I will do now is to just go ahead and connect this line straight like this all the way to the center back this way. Then I'm going to do the keyhole, and to do that you can decide to start from the actual center back line, yeah, or the contoured one, but whichever one you are going in there 0.75 or 1 inch. And then I'm going to be placing my curve like this, making sure it's touching that 0.75, and then on the neck there it is going to go this exact way you see me shaping it. That's how you go about the keyhole we see on the back. So it's going to stop just on this chest line, and then the next thing I will do now is to just follow my center back contour line and add my zipper allowance of 1 inch. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to be working with the dart. Yeah. So for the dart, you're going to start from your actual center back line, and then you're going to come into your bust span plus 0.25 or half inch or even 1 inch. And the reason for that is that we want the line coming from the shoulder not to be going sideways, and also not to be going just to the center back. Do you understand? So you're going to just add 0.25 or half inch to your actual bust span, so that that line will just go the same way it's supposed to go. That also depends on how much opening you want to have on that back as the Gracian neckline. Yeah, so that depends on what you're using here as your bust span, but I recommend that you do your actual bust span plus 0.25 or half inch. So I've marked mine 4 inches. Then on both sides I'll be marking the half inch that's intake, which is the same 1 inch I added to my waist measurement here. Now I'm going to just come in here to 1.75, the same width we used for the front, yeah. And I'm going to be taking it from the here to here, and then take it from the other side to that point. The same way you connect your dart, or the same way you shape your dart, that's how you're going to do it. So the both of the line is going to the shoulder line, but you're going to shape it this exact way you shape your dart, and it's looking like this. This also helps tighten the neckline, this back neckline, so that it will not gape afterwards. So we are going to be cutting it just like this. Yeah, that part will be going out so that it will give us that our Grecian neckline. That's what it's called. So yeah, I'm going to be cutting the pattern out, and watch out how I'm cutting this back pattern so that you do not make mistake with yours. Yeah, I try to like match up these dots, and yeah, the two of them, the two lines are the same, so I do not have to like through any part or blend in any part. So I'm going to be cutting the rest of the pattern out, and immediately after cutting I'll notch the top part of this pattern, then label them SSLs, that's side seam line, then DA, that's area, and then I have the WL waistline, then the up part. Now I'm going to open the waist dart so I can be able to close the bust dart this exact way. I'll be using my water glue to hold it down permanently, then blend in the side seam line, cut it out this way, then come to this part and open this gaping dart line, then apply my water glue and close the slashed one, just place it on the other line. I'll blend in this armhole and also this curve here, and that's pretty much about it. That's how you go about it. Blend in every part that you need to blend in, and then you're going to be cutting it out this same way you can see me cut it out, because yeah, that's how you go about it. So now the next thing we'll be doing now is to just through this part. I needed to shed off some part, and you can see that the two shoulder line are matching up. Then I'll blend in this part so that it's not pointy after working with it. Then I'll also blend in the side front and the side back this exact way you see me do it, so that we do not have any excess fabric anywhere. We are going to be cutting it like this: two of this, two of the side front, two of the center back, and then the center front you're cutting that on fold. The center front is the only one you're cutting on fold, but every other one you're cutting two of them. And then you're going to use this pattern now to cut your lining. The lining will be stopping just on the half length, so yeah, use it to cut out your lining and add 1 inch on the waistline. Then after joining them and after making your dress, you're going to be tacking the lining to the joining you used to join the panels. I don't know if you understand. Just in between your stitches, you're going to tag them or run a stitch there, and no one would even know. But that would help it stay in place so that when you wear your dress, this is going to be fitted on the waistline, the lining won't be going up, and the 1 inch you're adding is to help you make it neat. So I'm going to cut two of these, which I've done here, and the next thing we'll be doing now is to do the slash and spread. I'll be showing you two methods of doing the gathered fabric we have around the side front. So this is one of the methods, and you're going to be marking 1 inch intervals or half-inch intervals like I'm doing here, and then after marking you're going to label them because you're going to be slashing these lines. Then you're going to bring in a paper just long enough to contain the slashing that we'll be doing, and also wide enough to contain your pattern. So I'll just go ahead and tape it down this same way, and then I'm going to be slashing the first line just like this. After that, I'm going to measure up to 1 inch, apply my water glue, and then place it on that 1 inch. So I'll just mark 1 inch, then use my ruler to mark it out and place it like this. I already apply my water glue. Then I slash the second one and just basically go ahead and slash all the lines so that it will be easy for me to work with it. Since I already numbered, it will be easy for me to just take which number that is going next. But then I'll just be marking my 1 inch intervals, apply my water glue, and place the nearest number to it. I'll just repeat it like that until I get to the top. Yeah, that's the last slashed paper. Do you understand? Just make sure you're marking your 1 inch intervals, and then you use your ruler to roll it out, and then you place it like that. This 1 inch is not standard. You can even do 0.75, but yeah, repeat the same thing until you have it like this at the end of the day. Then you're going to start pleating. I already started before. I remember that my camera wasn't recording, so I'm going to show you what basically I'm doing here. So you are pleating this same 1 inch intervals you added. That's what you'll be pleating until you get to the next slashed paper or pattern. Do you understand? The numbered one, yeah, the numbers are there, you can see it clearly. So you're simply going to fold and pin, fold and pin, and you're doing all of this in between the numbered patterns. Do you understand? The 1 inch space we added, that's what you are pleating on. You are not doing it like you're not folding the numbered pattern that you can see there. So yeah, just basically go ahead and repeat the process. Fold in between the numbered patterns, and then you pin it down. So this thing we are doing now, of course, you know that once you do it on your fabric, it's going to look the same way it's looking like a gathered fabric on the style that you are trying to recreate here. That is the exact way it's going to come out, because this is paper, it's looking like a pleat here. But after doing that, you're going to place this other pattern on it, and then you trace it out. Basically, you trace it out this way so that you can be able to cut it out and then add your allowance. You can decide to, like, while tracing it, to be adding your half-inch allowance if you want to, or if it will not confuse you. Then you take out your pins and cut it out. You are going to cut it out so that you can open it up and use it to cut on your fabric. Then this is the second way you can do it. Just go ahead and run your gather stitches on each side of your fabric, just long enough to contain it and then wide enough to contain your pattern. Then after gathering it on both sides, you're going to stretch it like you see me do it here, and then you're going to be placing your pattern on it. Yeah, this pattern we said you use for your lining, yeah, that's the one you're going to be placing on it, and then you're going to cut it out, or basically just place it on it, pin it down, then go to your sewing machine, and then you sew it, adding your half-inch stitching allowance. And you can see that this is not the gathered part, is not getting to my under bust. Make sure that yours gets to the under bust, because it's supposed to start at least 1 inch above the under bust line. But yeah, this is just how you go about it. Just take it to your sewing machine, mark your joining allowance, half-inch joining allowance on each side, and then your side seam allowance of about 1 inch or 1.5, and then you go ahead and sew it before you cut it out. Just stitch it down before you cut it out. That's the second way you can go about it. Now for the skirts, I'll be using a fullness of 150, and then the panel we are working with, 6 of them. Yeah, so it's going to be 150 divided by 6, which gives me 25 inches. So each panel will come with a fullness of 25 inches. 25 inches fullness. Do you understand? So 25 times 6 is 150, and then this 150 is not standard. But what this means is that 25 inches center front, 25 inches side front, 25 inches the other side front, and the front part will have 75 inches, the back to 75 inches. But this 150 is not standard, like I already said. Let me just give you a figure. From waist 25 to 32 can use this 150. Then if you're, or even 32, waist 32, then from this 33, waist 33 upwards can use about 160, 170, 180. But then the easiest way or the most accurate way to go about it is to just go ahead and cut out your 180-degree flare. Not cut out, just mark it like you want to cut it out, then you measure the downward. Make sure you mark your radius. Then from that point, you mark the length of your skirt. The same skirt length you want to work with this one, yeah. Then you mark it and measure just that round, that down part, yeah. Whatever it gives you, that's what you're going to divide into 6 and use that for each of the panels. But yeah, after calculating and getting the value that you need for the fullness, you're going to be doing this method you are doing here. And you're doing this on your fabric. That is more ideal. I do not want to waste paper. That will be a whole lot of paper. So what you're going to do is to place the center front on your fabric, on a folded fabric here, and then you're going to add your sewing allowance on the neckline and the one that you'll be using to join it to the side front on the side here. And then the down part here have 12 and a half by 2 is 25. Your fabric is unfold, so when you open it up you're going to have that 25. Of course, you fold about 26 so that you add your half inch joining allowance on each side. Do you understand? But yeah, place your center front pattern on your fabric. Make sure you're placing it on your fabric too. And then for the yardage, for me personally, I can use 3 yards for this because you are working with a plain fabric. That's a cotton fabric that you are not following the grain line. You know, all those fabric when you follow this particular grain line and then the next pattern you place it the other way, is going to look like it's not the same fabric anymore. That's not the kind of fabric you're working with. But if you're working with that, use from 4 yards upwards. Otherwise, personally, I would use 3 yards because I can change after cutting the down part on this side. The other part, I would be changing it to the top part, like placing the down part of the next pattern on the top part. Do you understand? So that it will contain it. And at the end of the day, I will use just 3 yards for it. But yeah, you will need from 3.5 upwards. You're using the same method you used to cut the center front to cut the center back too. Then for the side, it's only the side that you place like this in a way that you distribute that 25 inches on each side evenly. So place your pattern in a way on your fabric in a way that you add that 25 inches. That's going to be 12.5 on each side. I don't know if you understand it. Get the midpoint of the fabric. Make sure it's 12.5 on each side. And then you're going to add your side seam allowance. Very important. That's just how you go about it. But so yeah, at the end of the day, if you follow everything I explained there, your dress is going to come out well. You're not wasting your pattern, you're not wasting your fabric. Everything just comes out well. Just remember to use all these patterns to cut out for your lining first before you use this one to trace out another one to do this slash and spread, or you do the other method I showed. But that's after cutting it as your lining and adding 1 inch instead of half inch on the waistline so that you can fold it and use a hemming gum to make it neat. Then you go ahead and tuck it in between the stitches of your dress like I explained. So the side is coming 25 inches fullness and you're cutting 2 of that. Then the center front 12.5 because that's unfold. When you open it up is in 25, yeah. Then the center back the same thing, 12.5 times 2. Then the side back 25 inches each of the sides. Do you understand? So that's how you're going to go about it. Add your necessary allowance and on the center back you can cut it the same way I explained. After cutting the 12.5, which is 2 of them, yeah, you can decide to add about 3 inches on the center back where your zipper will be sitting if you want to. I'll link another pieces tutorial that I have on this channel in the description. Do well to check that in case this is confusing you. But yeah, go ahead and transfer your patterns to your fabric, add the necessary allowance, and happy sewing. And with that, I'll be seeing you on my next one.